Sorry, chicken. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Let's get you cleaned up. Well, that's better. All right. I was supposed to have some garage space open this year. That turned out to not work out. It turns out to be the coldest goddamn winter ever. So, perfect. Hopefully nothing messed my poor car up. We're gonna get in here, and I've got a couple names of some guys that are gonna do a roll cage for me. So today I'm going to rip out some interior. Well, that was a total lie. I wound up getting it started up and going for a little cruise, and well, shit, I made a day out of it. Here's a couple clips.
Okay. I don't care how good you think you are. Next time, I'm driving.
Pull up and do a burnout in front of my wife's office. I'm sure she's going to be super impressed. Hopefully there's nobody behind me. I got a little bit of time to do this. Here we go. You could see that. I'm sure she's cussing. Right after my burnout, I come down to the gas station. We got a little excitement. I'm gonna pull in there and see what's going on. Bad thing is I gotta be quiet with this thing, and that is about impossible. Hopefully she even saw it. We're about to find out.
Nice burnout out there.
I was wondering if you saw me or not.
I wasn't standing up, I was up over there.
Well, I just got my first weigh in, and right now I am sitting at, let me get this in the sun so you can see it. I'm at 3580, and that is not with me in the car. And that is, let's see if I can get a picture of this. Just under half a tank of gas. I came down to a weight station a few blocks away for semis, and they let me hop on the scale, so it is certified. It cost me $11.99. We'll see if we can lessen that load. I feel like that's a lot. I do have a jack stand in the back, or not a jack stand, a hydraulic jack. I don't know, a couple jugs of coolant. So I'll be able to lighten it up 50 pounds right off the bat. Hell yeah. The day after, I'm doing burnouts and ripping around town. Now this. Already 6 inches of snow, I'm sure, and it's still coming down like a motherfucker. Well, at least I got a day to enjoy myself. And here we are a week later. 90% of the snow is melted. And today, I'm gonna rip out some interior. So right now I'm sitting at 3580. I've already taken the jack out, a couple bottles of coolant, a couple tools I had. So I'm already getting lighter. I think I'm gonna start with the front seats and open up a little room. I'm gonna be taking off the dash, the column, back seats, carpet, probably headliner. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So I'm pretty much gonna strip this thing completely out. I really don't need any of it. Most of it isn't functional anyways. I think it's been built for being a race car, so, but we'll see how it goes. Suppose I got to start by getting this seat belt unhooked from the seat. Looks like I just got a couple screws there. I'm probably gonna have to take it loose here. I'll keep this seat belt in here until I've got the cage on and I got my harness and shit installed. But yeah, this seat belt's janky as shit, and I don't even know if it belongs in here. The seats are, I'm gonna keep the driver's seat in it. I mean, I'll reinstall it after I'm done, but passenger seat is going permanently. The driver's seat will be replaced with a racing seat of some sort once I get it. All right, front seats consist of that bolt and one over here. It's 2 bolts up front, or I guess nuts, and then 2 bolts in back. I think they're 1/2 inches, piece of cake. I got that seat out, got the seat belt unhooked. I'm going to leave it unhooked until I get all the carpet and everything out. So I'm going to move on to the other part of the seat belt and the back seat. As I'm moving along here, I realize I'm going to be running into some wires that I don't know what they're going to go to. So as I go, like I just took this piece of seat belt off. I'm going to go ahead and label the wires before I disconnect, because I know once I get into this console and this dash, there's going to be shit everywhere because they've added stuff, added gauges and buttons and shit. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I label in case I need it or don't need it. Same thing with bolts. I got one for one magnet for shit I know I'm going to use, and another magnet for stuff I may or may not use. All right, let's get to these back seats. Looks like the back seat here has a 13mm bolt right here in the center, right underneath. I know I said 1/2 inch on the front seats too. My 1/2 inch wrench worked, but they were 13mm also. Got the bottom piece out. Now the backrest. Down here at the bottom, you'll see where it hinges. We're gonna go ahead and take that nut off there. There's another one on the other side, and I think that's all that's really holding it on there. So another couple 13mm bolts, or nuts, I guess. All right, we've got this backrest loose, but now I'm seeing that we're gonna have a seatbelt issue because it runs up through this plastic deal here, and there is no way that is going to fit through that. So I'm going to wind up taking this this panel off first and probably unhooking the seat belt altogether so it can just go along with the seat, whatever I decide to do with it. So I'm going to pop this panel off next. To start with this panel, I got this little I don't know, coat hanger hook deal. Let me get it in the light. That was kind of a bastard to get out of there. It's just a pretty simple little clip, but yeah, kind of a bitch. Use a little screwdriver. All right, there's also going to be I see one screw right here, and pop this speaker cover off. There doesn't seem to be anything holding on right there. They already got rid of the speakers, so that's nice. So I'm gonna undo this screw and see if I can't get her out of there. I just got done doing everything to the passenger side that I've done to the driver's side. And as I'm looking behind this panel, looking at this seatbelt situation, I don't know if you can see that. You know, obviously that's where the seatbelt rolls up and all that. So, I mean, there's no way I'm getting this thing out of here. Seatbelt off the seat anyway. So, I think I'm just going to have to take this sucker off. And it's just going to have to be separate from the seat. So I'm going to head and do that on both sides and get this motherfucker out of here. There we go. Easy as that. As the screws are piling up, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and put things back where they belong, just so just so I don't lose track of where things go. If I can get the fucker in there. And if I decide to sell all this shit, it'll come with all the hardware, so. And with the back seat out, I've already got these panels real loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and come in here in the hatch and get them the rest of the way out. This thing I already got loose. That one I'm gonna have to keep in because it's got the on-off switch for my battery. Yeah, shit, wasn't a whole lot to that. Alright, got that panel out. Son of a bitch, look at us go. On this side, I'm not sure what exactly is holding me up here. Gonna have to guess just a couple clips. Yeah, looks like just some plastic clips. There we go. Alright, man, there's some speakers. This thing must have been pretty cool back in the day. Alright, well, now we got both those side panels out. Terrific. Maybe I'll start on the console next. Yeah, before we get to that console, I think I'm going to finish up in back here first. Alright, so first I'm going to deal with this seatbelt assembly shit here. I've got an 18mm bolt here. Hopefully pop loose. Okay. Get both sides out of this son of a bitch. Looks like this one was used as a ground for something. Guess we'll have to figure that out before I take this nut off for permanent. Seatbelts are gone. Next thing I'm looking at here is this. Looks like the antenna assembly. I sure as shit don't need that. I don't have a radio or speakers or anything, and hell, that's 5 more pounds. So it looks to me like it's really only being held on by that one 10mm screw down there. So I'm gonna yank that fucker out of there too. I was kinda right. I got that screw out of there, but now I'm dealing with, see this little hose here? Must be to catch anything that drips down there, because it drips. I don't know if you can see it, but it goes down out the body. Just trying to keep moisture out, I think. But that will pop right out of the rubber. So I just need to get that hose off and pull down. Sounds simple. Alright, with that antenna shit out of there, I think we're pretty well done here and back. I'd like to just eliminate this panel here, but we've got my battery turned off right there in the middle of it, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna ask the guy that's doing my roll cage if I have to have this battery covered with a panel or not. I'm not sure on the rules on that, or if this jankety ass cover that he installed here, if that's gonna be enough. But we'll see about that. I'd like to just eliminate this thing altogether. I was gonna take the speakers out, but they are fucking riveted in there. You shitting me? I don't know. Either way, we'll deal with that panel and them speakers some other time. So I think we're gonna move on up and start doing console and dash here. So as I'm starting to mess with this console, I'm realizing just how sweet these WS6s were back in the day. Check this beauty out. Psh, cup holder, bam. I mean, it probably swings all over the fucking place, getting your shit all over, whatever. But, you know, it's the thought that counts, right? So when they were putting this thing together, I don't think they put it back together so well, because this thing's fucking loose as shit anyway, so there's not going to be really any detail on taking this thing apart. So I'm just going to nitpick away. Probably not going to be any video on this. I've been very excited to get this dash and console apart, because they got all kinds of wiring everywhere, and I'm just interested to see exactly how they went about things, because everything else has been, I mean, he did it correctly. It's just kind of a shit job, you know what I mean? But all right, let's have a look. Okay, so I'm sitting where the driver's seat used to be. Gear shifter popped right off, nothing holding that on. I had to put the key in and switch it down into drive just so I could have enough room, enough clearance to pop this thing off. So, see what the reveal is. Looks like I'm gonna have some wires to disconnect before I pull this all the way off. We're getting close there. So dealing with the wires on this, this is the button for releasing the trans brake so you can take off. But the way he has it, that button doesn't come apart, so I can pull it through the hole on the back side. And the wires can't disconnect, so I can't pull those through this way. So it's kind of stuck here in limbo until I get the other part of it up here where you turn it off and on, or down here where the little light indicator is. So once I get to those and can pull all the wires off, I'll be able to get this panel off. So we're gonna go ahead and take this big bastard off here, the whole deal. Now that we've got that fucker off, can really see what's going on in here a little better anyways. And you know, I don't understand all this shit either. I'm pretty new to all this, but most of it seems pretty self-explanatory. It really looks like a goddamn mess, and it is a mess, don't get me wrong. But you start digging through, and you know, the radio's been deleted, so I think there's some speaker wires and shit. I don't know, a lot of it I'm just going to be able to get rid of. So I'm going to start on the dash. I'll probably start right here with the buttons and fucking heater and air conditioning controls, all that shit. Alright, that panel popped off pretty easy, just some little pull-out clips. Now I got a few little, I don't know, 7-8 millimeter screws to take out this shit here, and we'll see what's behind there. Alright, taking this panel off here, you can kind of see what they got going. So, first we got our, this is our toggle switch for, oh shit. This switch is for the the electric fan up in front. So that's just on and off. Apparently this is probably our power. So as far as the trans brake, which is this toggle switch here. Let's see if I can get this thing flipped around. Alright. So the ground they got coming to this little, I don't know, T intersection. One side is going fucking nowhere. The other side comes down here and is grounded. And then one goes to the switch, obviously. This particular red one. I'm tugging on it here. This red one comes down to the button, and then the other red one is sharing power off of that. Well, I wound up just cutting those wires off to that thing because I was just gonna fiddle fuck with it for hours trying to get it out of there, and there's no point. I want to move that button anyways, so I got this panel stuffed back in there so I can get the dash off around it. Same with the heating and air controls. So I'm gonna bounce up here to this surrounding piece going around the gauge cluster and all that shit. Looks like this thing just pulls on out. I'll have to unclip the harness here, but I'm thinking that's just gonna pop out of there. Alright, I've got that off pretty simple. I'm gonna move down to this panel under the steering wheel. Looks to be 4 or 5 little screws here. No big deal. Bam, off in a flash. I even got the very bottom piece. Just came off, piece right above the pedals. So 2 more pieces Yeah, that other piece wasn't really connected with shit, so it was just kind of hanging there anyways. I guess they did make it easy on me. I think I'll start working my way up this A-pillar, get this off, and remove these gauges so I can start getting into, well, just freeing it up here so I can get the dash out of there. Here you can see a little bit of their electrical work. Just, I mean, I don't know, wires just hanging out, some just stabbed into the fuse. Yeah, I don't know. No bueno. As I pull this thing loose, see, I'm gonna have to disconnect these two gauges because they will not just pull apart from the front and slide out the back, which is kind of goofy to me. But anyways, to get this off, I have to take them fuckers out in order to get all this shit apart. So hopefully I don't fuck things up too much. I already got the light bulb out of there, and just need a little wrench to get this motherfucker off of here. I think it's a little vacuum tube. Got that part off, pretty simple. Now I need to feed the wires through the original A-pillar panel so I can get this whole thing off. Alright, we got that bastard off of there. I'm going to move down to this panel down here. I think there's just a couple screws running along here. One up by your footrest. Cool, easy enough. That popped right out of there, no problem. I think I'm sitting pretty good on the driver's side. I'm going to move over to the passenger side again and take off the same shit I just took off over on the driver's side. As I'd hoped, those came off very simple. I'm going to move on to the glove box. Looks like there's just a couple screws holding it in right here. And then probably take that panel off too while I'm at it. I think it's just a couple screws here and probably one or two in back. It feels loose, so there's probably one screw holding it in. Very simple as I thought. Now I'm going to move on to, well, factory. It had an airbag. Through its life, I don't know, I have my doubts it's even in there, but it seems to me this yellow wire is going up to it, and I think I'm gonna disconnect it. I already have the battery off, so there's no power to this thing, so I don't know, I'm just kind of crossing my fingers on this. That went well as far as I'm concerned. Given that actually is going up to the airbag, I guess we'll see. So from here, I think I've got most of the little shit I can off of here. I'm gonna start just taking loose every little nut and bolt I see until this fucker comes loose. So there's not gonna be a whole lot of detail with this either. So I was able to pop this top portion of the dash up. It's just a bunch of clips like that. So that is exposing a bunch of screws on top. I'll need to get the rest of the dash off. So now that I got that out of there, you can clearly see the screws up on top. There's several of them. I'm going to loosen those up. Made a little progress here. I went ahead and took out the gauges, that little cluster of shit. I wasn't sure if I needed to or not, but I figured one less thing in the road. It'll come out with the dash, but it does expose this big bundle of wires, which is actually clipped on back here. So that's really been kind of a pain in the ass. I'm trying to get it up out of those clips because that's what is keeping me from getting it out right now. And also, you know, obviously we got a lot of aftermarket gauge wiring that's all over the place, so I had to get it, you know, back out of the way so I didn't completely tear it apart. I also cut the fuse box loose just with that one screw there, so it doesn't try and come with the dash. It'll just be hanging there. But we're making progress here. Well, there we go. Got that goddamn dash out of there. I didn't think it was going to be simple, but it was just a touch more of a pain in the ass than I thought. I tried to leave all the electrical there that I could and keep everything hooked up so that I didn't lose track of shit, because there's a lot going on here. And with the aftermarket, or you can't even call it aftermarket, with the other shit, the fella that built this car, all the stuff he added, you know, it's just hard telling. But either way, we got her out of there, so let's move on to the next. I think I'll go with the headliner next. Wasn't sure if I was going to take it out or not, but yeah, I don't see why not. I want to get this seatbelt eliminated anyways, so looks to me like if I get the visors out, the seatbelt and the dome light, it seems as though it's going to probably pop out of there with a couple clips and slide out, so. Just like that, headliner's gone. That took about 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate this passenger side seatbelt. Peace out, seatbelt. I think I might put the dome light back on and maybe a visor. I don't know. Well, we about got her licked. I think I'm down to getting the carpet out, so I'm gonna clean my tools and shit out of here and start taking carpet out. Well, hell, I think I might be done. Went through and got the carpet out. It was super simple, except for little bits of black tar it left everywhere. But I went through and got little bolts and screws and broken straps and shit all taken care of. So I'm down to where I think they should be able to just install a cage and not have to worry about getting the weird shit out of here. Like this was completely full of spray foam for whatever damn reason. I think he's just trying to level out the floor, but I got quite the rat's nest of wires. I think when it gets back from them, I will go through it little by little and figure it out. But here's kind of a picture of everything I yanked out of there. I think the dash was probably the hardest thing. And it is quite the collection of shit. But all this was in there, and you know, everything was super lightweight, so I don't think I'm really going to be saving any weight, but whatever. Little by little, we'll cut it down. So as soon as the cage is installed, I'll edit this video, or just whatever. Maybe I'll just wait to post this video until I have it installed. But either way, that is gutting a 2000 Formula. Leave some comments if you have any suggestions on anything. I do most everything kind of by the seat of my pants. So thanks for watching. Peace.